All right, today we're going to look at how to solve a system of equations by testing solutions and then also by simple substitution. Okay, so first we're going to test solutions and then we're going to do simple substitution. All right, so what we have here, it says two lines are graphed on the same coordinate plane. The lines only intersect at the points 3, 6. Which of these systems of linear equations could represent the two lines? So essentially they're giving us the answer. They're telling us that the two lines cross at the point 3, 6. We need to know which equations would actually make that happen. Okay, what we need to remember here is that each ordered pair has an x value and a y value. So our x value in our ordered pair is 3. Our y value is 6. What that does for us here is that everywhere we see an x in any of these equations, we're going to replace it with the number 3. Wherever we see a y, we're going to replace it with a 6. And we need to see if it works for both equations. It needs to work for both. If it just works for one or it works for neither, it is not the answer. Okay, so let's test out solution A. It says that x equals 3. We can replace that x with 3, and 3 equals 3. That is true. 3 is equal to 3. Second one says y equals 6. We replace the y with 6. 6 equals 6. That is true. That means we know that A is a possible answer because it works for both. Now we're just going to continue testing as we go along. This next equation, we would have 3 equals 6 plus 6. Replace the x with 3, the y with 6. Now, that would mean that 3 equals 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. Now, that is not true. 3 does not equal 12. Now, because it does not work for this first equation, we don't even need to test the second one. We know that this is not an answer because it has to work for both. Let's try C. C, we have y equals 3 times x minus 3. Replace the y with 6, the x with 3. So this would be 3 equals 3 times 3 is 9, minus 3 is 6. 6 equals 6, that works. It's now, because it works for the first one, we're going to try to work for the second one. It says 6 equals 3 minus 1. That would mean that 6 equals 2. That does not work. Again, remember it has to work for both, so we know that C is not an answer because it does not work for the second equation. Let's try D. We would have 3 equals 3 plus 6. That is not true because that would say that 3 is equal to 9. Does not work, therefore we know D is not an answer. Let's try E. 6 equals 3 plus 3. That would mean that 6 equals 6. That works for this one. The second one, 6 equals 2 times 3. 6 equals 6. It works, so therefore we know that E is a solution. So this one worked for A and E, plugging in all of the values. So that's testing solutions. The second thing that we're going to look at today is how to solve things using simple substitution. Okay, we're going to try to look for the answer to both of these equations, and all we know is that x is equal to 10. We need to figure out what the y value is. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to take this 10 and we're going to plug it in for x of the second equation. If x is equal to 10, we can replace any x with 10. So the second equation then becomes 3 times 10 plus 5y equals 20. 3 times 10 is 30 plus 5y equals 20. Solving it like a two-step equation now, subtract 30. You get 5y equals negative 10 divide by 5, y equals -2. So we have y equals -2, and we have x equals 10. Remember, the answer to a system of equation is an ordered pair with an x value first and then a y value. So the answer to this, the x value is 10, the y value is -2. That would be how we write our solution. That's how we use simple substitution.